Let's talk about land access in hunting and fishing. More and more of our Outdoor Life readers feel like they're just being shut out. Many, many hunters and fishermen feel that their access to huntable and fishable lands is dwindling. If you were elected president, what steps will you take to open more lands to sportsmen?
To push legislation for multiple use. Now, in full disclosure, I worry sometimes when I see the desert hit by off-road vehicles and because of some of the damage that's being done. But I think you could set aside areas for off-road vehicles for them to enjoy and appreciate, but other areas, obviously, particularly the fragility of the desert of the area that I come from.
Sure.
But more importantly, there are the overwhelming majority of people who hunt and fish are the most responsible stewards of the land because they value it the most. When we see destruction, a lot of times it is from people who are not hunters or fishermen. They are people who, frankly, set fires or do, I mean,
that are destructive kinds of things.
Yeah, who do destructive kinds of things that are not your ordinary. Nobody cherishes the beauty of America and its great habitats and its places for recreation than those who use it, and that's hunters and fishermen. Sure. So I would do everything in my power to develop more policies which arrange for responsible multiple use. And I emphasize responsible. People shouldn't be fishing without a license, in my view.
Right.
People shouldn't be hunting without, the necessary licensing procedure that is necessary. Licenses aren't just for revenue. Licenses are for people who will take a little test and, they'll be responsible in their behavior, in their activities. Not a huge process, but
sure.
Make sure they're responsible people, that's all.
In talking about the sort of multiple use concept that you just referred to, if hunting licenses were issued on a controlled basis or a draw basis, would you ever consider allowing sport hunting to take place in some national park lands, such as Yellowstone, where we have a huge overabundance of elk that's really harming habitat there?
Yeah, yes, but I do believe that we could have environmentalists as well as people who are in the hunting and fishing business sit down together and work this out. For example, there are people, environmental organizations, who have bought land around the Grand Canyon, okay, to expand the boundaries of the Grand Canyon and protect it. And there's been negotiations going on with them. They're raising cattle on some of that land. And I think that process of negotiations has to go forward. And I believe you're seeing in America less extremist positions and more of a coming together.